Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning on day 17 of our 21-day Resiliency Series titled Embracing Your Personal Failures. We are grateful, always grateful, forever grateful for your devoted support to us, your commitment to view our videos, to tell others about us. Those of you who are subscribed, those of you who keep letting us know how you feel, even in person, through text messages, through email. You keep letting us know. We appreciate what you're doing. And those of you who are still afraid to comment under the videos, feel free to do so. We would be glad to hear from you. We want to provide you with the support. We want others to know that you are viewing as well. We want others to know that they may have questions like you have questions. They may have suggestions just as you have suggestions. So we together will grow this community. So thank you again for being here. Today is a great day to have a phenomenal experience in your life, one that is going to take you to the next level where you want to get. Our presentation today is one that is going to benefit you. We hope that you will apply it in your personal way, in embracing your personal failure, and that your life will become a lot more successful than it is. And if you are not experiencing the level of success you want to begin having or you wish to have, begin today. Begin today. We begin with the skills that we will introduce you to today, and may you continue to have a wonderful life. Today's presentation is titled Failure Teaches Us Adaptability. Failure teaches us adaptability. Let us together get into the presentation. Have you ever had life hit you so hard, punch you so hard, that your only plan, your neatly mapped out plan, your escape plan, your success plan, your do-it-all plan, your phenomenal plan fell apart in seconds? You know that moment when plan A does not work, you realize plan B is not going to work. Plan A is not just gone and plan B does not exist, but there is no plan compared to the previous plan that you had. It's a terrifying moment, because the best plan that you had, a well thought out plan, the most powerful plan that you had, is no longer. It's at that point, that powerful turning point in your life, that moment when everything collapses, when you are forced to activate one of the most important skills you will ever develop. And that skill is adaptability. Failure teaches you how to pivot. Failure teaches you how to reimagine what's possible. Failure teaches you how to adjust your strategy until you find your way forward. Failure teaches flexibility. Failure teaches adaptability. And what we're going to do today is to show you how exactly why adaptability isn't just a survival skill, but it's also a success strategy. Number one, let's look at it. Number one, failure interrupts boxed thinking, fixed thinking. Let me be honest with you. Most of us get attached to our first plan. I've fallen into that trap before. We love certainty. We want others to guarantee us. We love predictability. We love when the things that we think about, when we thought about, make sense. But failure disrupts that. When a plan fails, when a business idea collapses, when a relationship ends, when life doesn't go according to the script that we have so thought about, we have so put together, it forces us out of rigid thinking and into flexible and, I dare say, adaptable thinking. Failure teaches us this doesn't work. Now what? I need to do something about this. How else can I approach the situation? What alternative have I been ignoring? What have I not paid attention to? What is it that I don't want to think about? That shift in our thought pattern away from the stubbornness and more towards the openness in our thought pattern is the foundation for adaptability. Number two, failure pushes us in the direction of discovering new options. And the fascinating thing about that is, most of the time, we don't even know what our best options are. Most of the times, until failure pushes us in the direction of looking for looking for options, we don't know what our best options are. We don't even know what our options are, far less the best ones. We never explore the paths when the first one is working. We never test new strategies when the old ones still deliver. In fact, some people say if it's not broken, why fix it? If it's not broken, why try to get a new one? But after a setback, we immediately begin to research for new ideas. We seek different perspectives. We try methods that we never would have considered before. We get so infused about creativity and adapting flexibility that we're prepared to try anything. Failure expands our imagination. It forces us to ask the question, what else is possible? And sometimes the path that you discover after failure is so much better than the one that you wanted to try in the beginning. Failure builds emotional flexibility. Adaptability is not only a cognitive skill, it's also emotional. When you fail, you have to process your disappointment, you have to process your frustration, you have to process your loss and your embarrassment. And it is in the processing you begin to learn how to regulate the emotions that you feel. You get to regulate that within real time, on the spot. And that emotional flexibility then becomes the fuel that we need towards behavioral flexibility. That's when we become a lot more enthused about going after the issue or of better managing the issue, handling the shame, understanding why we should pivot or why we should not pivot, why we should stay or why we should adjust, why we should cling to the old plan if we cannot create a new one. But we begin to ask the necessary questions, the tough questions, the questions that we ignored. Failure teaches us how to deal with the discomfort without letting it paralyze us. In other words, failure trains us to see the emotions without collapsing under them. That emotional maturity, remember we spoke about it earlier this week, that emotional maturity is what makes adaptability possible. Number 4, failure is going to teach us how to let go. One of life's toughest lessons is to know not everything you lose is a loss. I'll say this again. One of life's toughest lessons is to understand not everything you lose is a loss. Failure teaches you what to release, how to release, the plan that you need to keep, what plans you need to let go of, the version of you that you're trying to protect, the expectations that you're trying to cling to, why they are not as important as you should. Adaptability makes it possible to let go. And failure gives you that practice. Sometimes unwillingly, willingly, failure teaches us how to let go. It teaches you the difference between giving up and moving on. And there is a significant difference between giving up and moving on, because it is important to thrive and not just exist. Failure teaches you the difference between giving up and moving on. Giving up is quitting. Giving up is quitting on your goal. But moving on is changing your strategy. It's adapting. Failure teaches you the second one, that is to move on, to adapt, to make the necessary changes. Number 5, failure trains decision making under pressure. Failure enables us to make decisions under pressure. Adaptability isn't passive, it is active, it is strategic, and helps us adapt. So when things change, when things go wrong and we have to quickly decide, we are able to ask questions like, should I try it again? Should I change direction? Should I seek help? Should I pivot entirely? That kind of pressure is uncomfortable. I will say it is uncomfortable, but it's also powerful because we have to adapt. We have to be flexible in order to make the changes. Because every time you have to make decision in the middle of uncertainty, you strengthen your instinct for problem solving. You get better at reading situations. You learn how to respond instead of reacting. You become more confident making adjustments because you've survived the process before. Remember that the last presentation was failure makes allowance or helps us in developing problem-solving skills. Failure, in other words, gives us adaptive intelligence, and that is the ability to think clearly even when everything is falling apart. Failure reveals, number 6, failure reveals new strength and those hidden skills that are in our potential. You don't know how strong you are until strength is the only option you have. Until you've had to push it, you don't know. You don't know how creative you are until your old ideas stop working. Until the laptop isn't working and you have to think for yourself, you have to write for yourself. Until all of those support systems don't work. You don't know how resourceful you are until you're forced to find a workaround, something that is going to work for you. Failure exposes the strengths that success would have lie dormant, would have kept dormant. So for many people, the most valuable skills, whether it be in leadership, resilience, in communication, those things don't come out during times of victories. They come out in times of crisis. So adaptability isn't just about adjusting your plan, tweaking it a little. No, it's more than that. It's about discovering the parts of you that are dormant, that you've never paid attention to, that have never existed simply because you've not paid attention to it. So, number 7, adaptability forces us to have a working relationship with change. Most people don't like changes. They think change means danger. They think that change is wrong. But once you failed before and you've recovered, you begin to see, you begin to understand change differently. You begin to realize that change, though uncomfortable, but it's survivable. Change is unpredictable, but it's teachable. Change may be scary, but it's necessary. Failure teaches us adaptability. Failure becomes your training ground for every future transition. Instead of panicking when you have to make changes, when you're going through changes, you learn to say, I've adapted before, I've been through these experiences before or similar experiences, I can adapt again. That's what makes you powerful. That's what makes you capable. That's what makes you unstoppable. That's what makes you a phenomenal individual, one that is able to adapt in difficult times. So remember this. Failure does not break you. Failure bends you. And bending is what keeps you from breaking. Adaptability is one of the greatest gifts failure can offer any one of us. It teaches you not to cling to the path, but to cling to the purpose. Failure teaches us to cling to the plan and not to cling to the mission. Failure teaches us not to cling to who you were, but to who you are becoming. Every time life forces you to pivot, every time life forces us to reconsider, every time life forces us to adjust, to make changes, we grow. Every time a plan collapses, every time a plan falls through the cracks, a new possibility opens. Every time you fail, you become wiser, you become sharper, you become stronger, and are more prepared for what comes next. You survive by adapting. You survive by adapting. You succeed by adapting. You rise by adapting. But you, no one else, you, that main character, you, the main character in the process, can decide if you learn through the failure or if you must keep on failing and failing and failing and failing again in order for you to rise again. Today is a brand new day. Today is a great day for you. Today can be a lot greater for you if you embrace the principle of adaptability. Learning to adapt, learning to think outside of the box, learning to think outside of plan A and only plan A, learning to think outside of plan B and only plan B. Remember, we keep ourselves where we are simply because we get attached to things. We get attached to the mission and not to the process. Let us keep in mind that the mission is important. The process to get to the mission is even more important. Experience a great day today, and may divinity continue to guide you and to keep you in your path. We will see you again on day 18. Thank you for stopping by on day 17, and we'll look forward to you joining us again. Remember, if you like the content of our video, that you would tap the like button, get that bell notification going so that you can know whenever we post a video. Subscribe if you have not subscribed, and please do us a great favor. Share the word, share the word, share the word. Tell everybody about us so that we can continue to grow and we can all together move from the locations where we have failed to the locations where we will not just succeed, but where we will thrive. Looking forward to seeing you on day 18. Have a phenomenal day.